Hi, this be Clarence Shields, a.k.a. the best professional Big Mike Obama impersonator and current heavyweight ruler over 18 fat pigs who can't fight. Anyway, y'all better like, subscribe, and donate to the Triple B, although you better recognize I got a bigger Corey than him.
Yeah. Clarence, stop trying to ingratiate yourself to the Triple B. I told you I ain't interested in female boxing. None of me fans are interested in female boxing. You're absolutely gross. I mean, the fact that Sonny Edwards wanted to get on top of you and pump away, it's disturbing. He's got a pretty Brazilian girl now, so maybe he's off to oil drilling. You know, she's a Latina. Yeah, quite nice. Anyway, yeah, forget it, Guo. You keep on PMing me on social media, trying to get on my channel. I'm not interested in investing in you. All I'm going to ask you is, how big's your Corey? Why are you so whack at boxing? Why is women's boxing such a load of absolute steaming dog shit? Right, now, we'll talk about real boxing now. Or sort of, because it involves Jake Paul. Now, there's been... I had a busy day today. I went to the gym. I had to take care of some stuff. I had to go and visit this and that. You know, it's my business. My business. Take care of business. But before I left this morning, there's I see this thing on YouTube. Oh, Canelo, Jake Paul fights about to be signed. I'm like, this has to be a joke. This absolutely has to be a joke. How can Canelo, fight a very average fighter, let's just say Jake Paul, one of the pound for pounds, if you like that term, Canelo, fighting Jake Paul, the whole YouTube boxer, misfits boxer, sure. He's had a few pro fights. He's had some good knockouts. Has he beaten anyone good? No. Even Tommy Fiore beat him. And what, you're telling me that he's going to fight Canelo? I was like, I didn't have time to read into it. I was like, this has got to be nonsense. This has absolutely got to be nonsense. There is no way on earth. Yeah. Although, then again, I was like, there's no way on earth this nonsense is going to happen. But then I was like, well, hang on a minute, man. Boxing's so crazy now, so ridiculous. There's so much money, that they might try and put an event on. But what are they going to do? Canelo will absolutely destroy Jake Bum. They only... And what about the weights? Jake Paul last fought at heavyweight. He was like 220 pounds, wasn't he? Or something like that. I mean, come on, man. Oh, no. It was more than that. 227 pounds. I mean, against Mike Tyson, an embarrassment. He has previously, though, weighed under 200 pounds. He was 200 against Platinum Mike Perry. Then he weighs 199 against a couple of German bums, both of which went out in the first round. Nate Diaz, 185, 183, Tommy Fury. So he's fought at cruiserweight, really. Apart from the heavyweight fight, I mean, and what, They think that he's going to fight Canelo? I mean, you could say, well, actually, maybe they could do a catchweight fight and do it at heavyweight. But would there really be enough money in it for Canelo? Canelo gets paid huge purses anyway. I can't believe that a Jake Paul fight would pay a bigger purse than, I don't know, Benavidez or someone like that. Or maybe it would. Maybe we've got to a point where boxing is so ridiculous, it's so laughable, that bum fights make more money than real boxing fights. And of course, this would be a real boxing fight, I guess, a pro fight, but against one of the world's best, against an average, fighter, YouTuber turned fighter. I mean, I don't think Paul's that bad and at his level, but this, you're fighting one of the best guys ever. Having said that, one of the best guys ever, I've just looked at his record. He's lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fights have gone the distance. He hasn't stopped anyone since 2021 when he stopped Caleb Plant in the 11th round. Right? That's a lot of time of not having a stoppage. Now, something, Saul Alvarez. You know what his real name is? It's not Saul Alvarez. It's not Canelo. Obviously, Canelo means cinnamon because he's ginger. But his real name is Santos Saul Alvarez Barragan. Santos Saul Alvarez Barragan. Why did he choose his middle names? It's another fighter who changed his name. People always going on about Tyson Fury changed his name. Oh, his real name is Luke Tyson Fury. He's a fraud. It's not Tyson Fury. Well, no one goes, Canelo's name is Santos Barragan and lose their chill over it. Or like I said before, like Ray Wilson, whose name is Ray Wilson. Ray Robinson, whose name is Walker Smith Jr., Jersey Joe Walcott, Arnold Raymond Cream, Anthony Small, Abdul Hack, Cassius Clay Muhammad. I mean, But why do they griefed Tyson Fury a lot about it? Supposedly, the real so-called conspiracy theorists say his name is actually Luke Partridge, but that's a different video. So I didn't have time to check, but I was like, nah. And even Eddie Hearn said it's close to being signed. He was quoted in the ring as saying it's close to being signed. Canelo vs Jake Paul. I'm like, this can't be real, man. And you got to remember, like, Canelo's a super middle. His last fight, the heaviest fight, he was a 174 against Bivol at light heavyweight. But apart from that, he's a super middle. And, I know he fought Kovalev at light heavy, but, he's not obviously a cruiserweight. And you remember there was that ridiculous talk of how Alvarez, before Alvarez got schooled by Bivol, we think he can actually got a chance of beating Usyk at cruiserweight, or he might even move up to heavyweight. Or what a load of nonsense, man. People just talk so much nonsense, and on the normies and the casuals will lap it up. So it turns out that this fight isn't happening at all. Even though Eddie Hearn told the ring it was very close to happening. I mean, what is that about? I mean, some people say, they're just playing the game. They're just teasing, They're just making a joke. Well, it is a joke if you fought Paul. Like, how is Paul going to get down to super middleweight? Well, he won't. How's he going to get down to light heavyweight? Well, he won't, probably. From 227 pounds. So what are they getting, Canelo would have to move up to cruiserweight. It's not impossible. But, it all turns out to be nonsense anyway. And this has been reported by all kinds of so-called journalists. I think Mike Coppinger, Eddie Hearn was reported by the ring as saying it was very close. It was very close. But what has actually happened following some press conference is that Turki Alalshikh has signed a 4-fight deal with Canelo Alvarez. And a Riyadh season. Now, I don't know. Is Riyadh season the name of the promotions? Because a season, seasons, they're what? Well, how many seasons are there? It can be any length of time, I suppose. But there are generally 4 seasons in the year. Winter, spring, summer, autumn, right? So how long does Riyadh season last? Is it forever? Or is that just the name of the promotion? I don't know. I don't really care. Just give me the big fights, man. But so it turns out that Turkey has signed a 4-fight deal with Canelo and Riyadh season, and this includes allegedly, because it's boxing, you can never be sure, a fight in Riyadh in May. Apparently, a fight in Las Vegas for Terence Crawford in September. Yet, only yesterday they were saying he'll never fight Crawford. Who knows, man. And then another couple of fights in Riyadh in February 26, October 26. So it's quite odd to be announcing all these fights already before he's beaten anyone, before he's even fought in Riyadh season. There's a conspiracy going around that Canelo dropped Paul's name in so that he could he could try and get more money out of Turkey. He said, well, look, why should I fight for Riyadh? I'm already gonna get 150 million pounds fighting Jake Paul. I mean, it's also ridiculous, man. Yeah. So, what have you got? We've got a deal between Canelo and Turkey. Turkey spoke all cryptic, didn't he? On Twitter or whatever. Don't mess with the lion. Something like, don't be scared of the jungle. Don't mess with the lion. 4 fights for Canelo, Riyadh season. The deal is done. A lion doesn't sleep over the opinion of a sheep. Oh yeah, fear the lion, not the jungle. Yeah, whatever, man. I think Alalsheik's been on the crack pipe. Yeah. So that'll be the official first fight in Saudi, but we don't know against who. In May, quite soon. Then allegedly Terence Crawfish in September, which will be in Vegas, and 2 more Riyadh fights. One of the reasons I'm quite cool with fights in Saudi is because we get, in the UK, we get to watch it at a normal time. I'm sick of all the, American fights or Vegas fights, and they're always on 5:30 in the morning. I can't stay up for that anymore. I used to back in the day, but there's no way I'm staying up for that anymore. But unless it's a massive heavyweight fight, unless you got like the Big Bang Jill Lejeong, these, I don't know, whoever, Gage or someone like that, I'd stay up for that. Jill Jong, Daniel DeBalm I'd stay up for, because I'm a Big Bang fan. But so it's been going backwards and forwards. Like the last few days, like I said, this guy Mike Coppinger of ESPN, who's an alleged insider, went, "Oh, Alalsheikh to suspend his efforts to finance a 3-fight deal between Canelo and Riyadh, and Jake Paul's definitely happening, and blah blah blah." And what happens? Of course, that fight isn't happening. It's the silliest suggestion ever. I think they're just trolling the boxing public, and no doubt, the casuals and the normies got erection, just like Mike Tyson did when he saw Jake Paul, age 16, dancing. Remember that? Sick weirdo. I mean, he might have been joking, but the way he said it was just like, yeah, that's kind of slightly inappropriate. He's a 16-year-old boy, and you're saying he's giving you wood? I mean, come on, man. So, instead of, thankfully, Paul vs. Canelo, which I just couldn't believe it was possible anyway. And like I said, at what weight? If it was going to be for world title, Paul would have to get down to 168. It just made no sense. No sense whatsoever. So instead, we've got a deal between Canelo, Turkey, and Riyadh season, a 4-fight deal. And the Crawford fight is now, after a couple of days ago, people were saying, oh, it's definitely not going to happen. And now apparently it is going to happen. I mean, boxing's a bit of a joke anyway. It's always just lies and BS and rumours, especially in the modern world, because, of social media. It's so much easier to get a lie out. I remember back in the day, there was a rumour, this is like years ago, when Mike Tyson was still champion, and Don King was saying, we're going to get a real-life Rocky Balboa vs. Ivan Drago fight. It's going to be Mike Tyson vs. I can't quite remember who the top Russian amateur was. There was going to, but apparently the Russian was just going to, in his first pro fight Mike Tyson for the title. And it's not as crazy an idea as you might think. And it's certainly not as crazy as Canelo or Jake Paul, because, Floyd Patterson defended his title against Pete Rademacher in Rademacher's first fight, after Rademacher won the Olympic gold medal. He actually dropped Floyd Patterson, but apart from that, the chinny Patterson, but apart from that, he took a beating. What did Ali call, what did Ali call him? The rabbit. The rabbit. Floyd Patterson, the rabbit. Yeah, anyway, so thankfully all this nonsense has settled down. And oh yeah, who's the Russian? Sorry, when was it? Alex Miroshnichenko was the top Russian, I think. Alex Miroshnichenko, who dropped Riddick Big Daddy Bo in the Olympics. He dropped him heavily with a body shot, I think it was. But they gave the decision to Bo. I mean, actually, I think it was around 88 or 89 when Don King wanted to make this Drago vs Balboa fight. Russia didn't exist as a nation. Obviously, it did as you know, an area, if you like. But it was the USSR then, you know. It was the Soviet Union. So it would have been the Soviet Union vis the United States. And Miroshnichenko, if it was meant to be him, he's from Kazakhstan anyway. So there you go. Anyway, back to reality. Back to reality. There goes Rabbit, and he, you know. So it's thank goodness. I knew it couldn't be real. I mean, there was a small percentage of chance because boxing's so ridiculous. But come on, man. There are too many problems with Jake Paul vs Canelo, and it's too ridiculous. But instead, we have him fighting for Turkey. I assume Turkey likes to put on quality fights, so hopefully he won't be fighting no bums. The Terence Crawford fight, I'll do a preview of. You know, now it's allegedly, potentially back on. But yeah, you know, I mean, Crawford's given away a lot of natural weight there. To me, the question at this point, until I look into it, is whether or not Canelo can knock out Crawford. But Crawford's got a pretty solid chin, albeit, you know, not at super middle. And Canelo hasn't stopped anyone since 2021. So, you know, it's weird, the modern fight game. It's always been weird, the fight game. There's always been weird stuff happening, you know, like I'm saying. Muhammad Ali having that fight with Antonio Inoki, who just stood there kicking his legs. George Foreman fighting 5 guys in one night. Pete Rademacher challenging Floyd the Rabbit Patterson in his first fight after winning the Olympic gold medal. You know, so these weirdness has always, you know, existed in boxing, but now it's just weirder than ever because of the rise of social media. Anyway, peace, man. You know. By the way, tomorrow, yeah, we've got the first super fight. The first super fight of the year. And it's in the UK. And that is going to be the naive Swede, the white quitter, Otto Wallin, vs Derek Delboy, War Chisora. And they weighed in. Well, Wallin was 239. I think Chisora's got a 20-pound weight advantage. 259. He didn't look in bad shape, you know. Chisora, he's always been that quite chunky, like, looking shape, you know. He's never been a ripped body. Otto Wallin has always got that soft-looking body. Because he doesn't need PEDs because they're illegal. Okay? So, you know, the idiot. But he looked a bit more solid in his last fight, but he kind of looked back to his old sort of slightly soft, unathletic self. But at, 239 has been, you know, his kind of weight, the average weight. He's around the 240 range most of his last few fights. He weighed at 253 kilos. Sorry, pounds, kilos. Pounds against Kamil Sokolovsky in one of his worst performances ever. I think he took the fight in the last week before the fight. You know, he probably put on a bit of weight because his oil well, Layla Dong, had been feeding him a lot of stuff. A lot of African food, probably. But hey, African food's so great, it's diverse. Yeah, but Otto, it looks like a cat was sick on the floor. A dog ate it and then took a shit on your plate. Hey, don't be so racist. I mean, I'm sick of Otto impressions. I've done too many, but tomorrow I'll be doing a live. I have to do a live. Otto Wallin vs Derek Chisora, and I won't be able to stop myself